I see a real spiritual problem developing in this time of forced isolation. Not only do we see it in our local assemblies, but I understand that it's being experienced in the many churches that are around us. The problem is infectious spiritual deadness. While many are being encouraged by the added fellowship of our online meetings, others are getting used to staying at home. Online meetings may be good for older ones, but our young people and our little ones are not getting the companionship which they desperately need. In Hebrews 12:13, it speaks of making straight paths for our feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way. The little ones, the young people, are the weak ones and the ones that suffer in a time like this. Though I offer no real solution to this problem, I'd point us to the exhortations of Isaiah 51. 3 times we have passages that begin with hearken or listen unto me. I'll paraphrase the first. Don't ever forget where you came from. Don't forget what a sinner you were or your hopeless condition. Ephesians 2:12 describes our hopelessness, that at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, without God in this world. The second, listen to me, is in verses 4-6. The message is, do not lose hope. Do not lose heart, my people, because righteous judgment is coming. The third, listen to me, is in verse 7 and 8. The message is this: don't worry about all the problems around. The people of God have a hope eternal. Then another 3 times, we have passages that begin with awake, awake. The first is in verses 9-16. The message of the first is, do not forget all that I've done for you in the past. This is a message for all God's people throughout the ages. We need to store up in our minds the answered prayers, the unrequested mercies, the deliverances. These treasures will strengthen our faith for the next challenge. And when we are victorious, the trial of our faith is much more precious than gold. The second awake begins at verse 17. The message is, do not forget that God deals with his people in governmental ways. This is the same message that we have in Hebrews 12, that our loving God and Father chastens us from time to time for our good. The third awake begins in chapter 52, and it introduces the people of God to the coming Messiah, he whom God was pleased to call my servant, in verse 13. That which the godly Israelite was exhorted to look forward to, we have the privilege of looking back to. And this is what we do as we gather together to remember him as he has requested. Romans 13:11 says, knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed.